Hello and welcome to my fretboard diagram presentation. This topic is going to be on the minor seventh chord. The minor seventh chord is a four-note chord that is derived from primarily the major scale. And there are actually three minor seventh chords that are inside of each major scale, and they happen on the second, third, and sixth degree. They're the most commonly occurring minor seventh chord, four-note chord built in thirds. That's what seventh chords are. When we analyze the major minor scale, major or natural minor scale, we find what the major scale, the one and the four, produce what's called a major seventh chord. That's a major chord with a major seventh. The 2, 3, and 6 produce the minor seventh chord, so there are three of those. The 5 produces the major minor seventh chord, or commonly known as the dominant seventh chord. There's only one of those, and then there's also one built off the diminished chord, and there's only one diminished chord. It's called a diminished minor seventh. So here I have D, the D major, or the D minor seventh chord. And let's take a look at what the D minor seventh is. If I take all of its notes in order, D, F, A, and C. So what are the seventh chords really are a mix, an overlapping mix of two different three-note triads. And if we take this one out, we see we have FAC, which is actually F major, and then DFA. A lot of times you'll see sixth chords, and FACD is what's known as an F6, and it's really the same thing as a D minor seventh with an F in the bass. It's essentially an inversion of the minor seventh, and we call it a sixth, and that's because F to D is a six. F, G, A, B, C, D is six, so we call that the sixth. And but outside of the sixth, we see that we have a minor chord and a major chord. Well, if we have a major and a minor chord together, or two different ones, we see that we have two perfect fifths built within here. And that comes in handy when analyzing the scale. We see we have an F to C here, and if you know your five chords or your power chords, that means we've got F to C and D to A as part of the chord. So these two together make up the minor seventh chord. And these are obviously, you're not going to play these all together, but it just gives you options and understanding and vision as to what you're going to do with it. So we'll get rid of these. Another thing, another like simple box to look at here is this. Let's move it over here. We know if we have a note here, our fifth is behind us. So we have a fifth from our D, a fifth from our C, and that's where the fifths come into play. They're separated by a minor third. Of course, if within every major chord and minor chord exists a major third and a minor third, so we do have a major third built within the minor seventh as well, and that's the F to the A. And then we also have the minor thirds of A to C and the D to the F. I have that one overlapping there. So two different minor thirds are built within this, and then two different perfect fifths. So as you're looking at the guitar and you're trying to figure out the minor seventh all over the neck, it's important to keep these smaller intervals in mind. It'll help you master the minor seventh chord all over the neck of the guitar. One other thing I want to point out about the minor seventh is that if we simply add the G note to the D minor seventh, notice what we end up with here Oops, it looks like I've now taken some notes that I moved and didn't put back um, because we're missing a couple now. And so, but if I'll add these back here, and once I do, we'll see what we have here is these are just the ones that I moved over here. But when we add the fourth to a minor seventh chord, instead of it being 1 flat 3 5 flat 7, and we add the fourth to it, we end up with the minor pentatonic scales. So a minor seventh chord is 4 of the 5 notes of the minor pentatonic scale. So that's a good thing to keep in mind just when knowing what you're working with. I'm going to bring into the picture the other minor seventh chords. So on the third degree of C, we have E, and on the sixth degree of C, we have A, and both of those are also minor seventh chords. We can see, I'm going to take the G out of here now, we can see a lot of the same patterns. We see the 2/5 right here. We see the A to the E, the C to the G, the perfect fifth. And in this case here, if we were to add the A to this, we would have the E minor pentatonic. And if we were to add here the D to this scale, we would have the A minor pentatonic. So minor seventh chords are very common within the key. Like I said, they happen on 3 different scale degrees, and they're a mashup of the minor chord, the extension of the seventh, which forms from its third, fifth, and seventh a major chord. So when you view it in that way, it kind of helps to envision the chord all over the neck and know what you're working with. Well, I hope that shed some light on the minor seventh chords, more on this topic, and I'll be doing videos on the major seventh and the dominant seventh and combinations thereof. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something from it. Leave me some comments, and we'll see you at the next video. Thank you.